We're down to 16 teams in Eastern Mass High School football, 8 games. We're not looking back today in the huddle. We're looking ahead to our Super Bowl previews. I'm Chad Finn. He's Bob Holmes, our information guy and the Boston Globe High School sports editor. We're starting out right away with Division I. Bob, Everett, St. John's Prep, these two teams are pretty familiar with each other.
Yeah, a rematch from a couple months ago in which Everett won easily against St. John's Prep. Everett really, since they lost the Super Bowl last year against the Variant, has been on a mission. They haven't lost this year, and it's going to be quite a challenge for St. John's Prep on Saturday. Everett's
got one pretty well-known quarterback, Jonathan DiBiaso, 40 touchdown passes, state record.
Yeah, nobody in the state has ever done that. He broke Kyle Beatrice's record of 39, set in 2002. He's just having a phenomenal year, and his receivers are just playing just as well as he is. Matt Costello, Manny Esprier are both having great years.
Bob, anything St. John's Prep can do to prevent a second loss to Everett?
They can have Tyler Coppola run for another 200 yards like he did against New Bedford. Then they'll have a shot.
Bob, let's take a look at Division 1A now. We have Gloucester and Bridgewater-Raynham. Gloucester, the 25-game winning streak, defending champions. Bridgewater-Raynham, though, has wins over Zavarian, Brockton, and they beat Weymouth Tuesday night. So this looks like a pretty compelling matchup.
Yeah, it actually could be the best game of the day. I think one of the keys to this game is keep an eye on Gloucester lineman Chris Eunice. If he's throwing BR kids around, then it's going to be a long day for BR and their quarterback, Billy Zolga. He's a tough one.
Bob, let's talk about the Division II Super Bowl. We've got Reading, which beat a very good Drake team 15-14 Tuesday night, taking on Mansfield, a 28-0 winner over Walpole. How does this one shape up? What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, we've got the Killer Bees here with Brian Bork quarterbacking Reading and George Bracheras quarterbacking Mansfield, two outstanding quarterbacks who have been the keys to their team's offense and success this year. Reading, of course, is undefeated. Reading lost so many kids, talented kids last year, and they're back, a little bit of a surprise. Mansfield comes from the always tough Hockomock League and has won 11 of 12 games this year.
And on to 2A, Duxbury and Concord-Carlisle, Bob. Duxbury is 12-0, one of our few unbeaten teams remaining, but they're kind of a team without a star.
Yeah, you look at the leading scorers and you'll be hard-pressed to find anyone from Duxbury in there. They're really a deep team that doesn't rely on any one person. Kane Haffey had a couple of touchdowns on Tuesday in the semis, but for the most part, it's someone different every game.
Whereas with Concord-Carlisle, there are some pretty familiar names there. George Cran, 3 touchdowns Tuesday.
He's just had a fantastic year. He stepped into the spotlight this year, took over from Jared Hargrove, who was the star last year, having a fantastic year, and he will be someone that Duxbury will have to stop.
Division III, another interesting matchup, Beverly-Somerset. Bob, Beverly is one of probably the most compelling teams still left in this thing, just because they started out the season 0-5. They're 6-6 now, finally got their first non-league win Tuesday. How did they get to this point?
They got to this point very simple. They won every single game that they had to win. They took care of business in the Northeastern Conference Small. They won Tuesday night. Say what you want about their records, but when they had to win, they did.
And Somerset, 28-0 winners over Dighton, Rehoboth. They got pretty good balance in that game, but did they have a little more star power usually?
Yeah, they're one of the few teams that have 2 1,000-yard rushers in Jared Spear and Seth DeMello, 2 outstanding rushers. And they have one of the best linemen in the state, too, in Ian Levesque. So they're a legitimate, undefeated team.
Fans of explosive offenses might prefer the Division IIIA game to any of the other Super Bowls. Talking about Cardinal Spellman and Holliston. Cardinal Spellman 12-0, have my favorite name we've mentioned on the Huddle this year, and Blaze Branch, great football name. What else can you tell us about them?
Yeah, remember the all-name team, undefeated. And it'll be interesting for Holliston. Last year they lost in the Super Bowl against Austin Prep, the winners of the Catholic Central Large. This year, Cardinal Spellman, the winners of the Catholic Central Large, and once again, a roadblock for Holliston. But Holliston has a fantastic season, but they messed up on Tuesday. They only scored 35 points, which of course drops their scoring average to 39.9. So let's see if they can raise that back up on Saturday.
We're on to Division IV, Blue Hills and Shawsheen. This one's not played at Gillette Stadium, instead being played at Curry College, but it's a Super Bowl. Blue Hills got the bye. What do you know about Shawsheen?
Well, both schools, one of the interesting things is that they're both vocational schools. So the kids on those teams often have jobs, and it's a real tribute to both teams that they're playing in this game. But Shawsheen, very, very balanced team, and similar to Duxbury that we were talking about previously, in that they don't have any one star.
Blue Hills did all they needed to get to this game. Pretty much beat all the top flight competition that they faced.
Yeah, 10-1 and led by Vincent Burton, one of 2 kids in Eastern Mass to score 200 or more points. He's a very talented running back.
Blaze Branch being the other one.
Yeah.
The key word in Division 4A is rematch. We've got Brighton taking on Northeast. Northeast, the champions last year. Bob, what do we look for this year?
Brighton has the exact same challenge this year that they had last year. The Northeast line, which was huge and experienced last year, they're all back this year, and they have just run rampant over every team that they've played this year, including Pope John on Tuesday, 42-0. Bobby Novello ran for 2 touchdowns. But with that line, I think I could run for 2 touchdowns too.
Is revenge enough of a motive to get Brighton a chance in this game?
I think so. It's a game that Brighton can win, but they just have to find some way to at least try to break even against that Northeast line.
So there you have it. There's our Super Bowl previews. He's Bob Holmes. I'm Chad Finn. Thanks for watching The Huddle and enjoy the games.